If you thought Avatar: The Way of Water had impressive technology but a rather dull story, then Avatar 3 is definitely worth a watch, because it not only has a faster pace and more action sequences, but also boasts the most profound emotional depth among the three films. Hi everyone, this is Roy Movie Reviews, and today we're talking about Avatar 3. First off, I want to make it clear that I'm a big fan of watching movies on the big screen in theaters. While many people find the Avatar series quite underwhelming, and I do agree it has its fair share of flaws in storytelling, in my opinion, it's still a movie well worth seeing in cinemas. To put it simply, if your expectation for sci-fi storytelling is a plot with a twist every 10 minutes and a thrilling highlight every 3 minutes, then Avatar might still not be your cup of tea. But if you're willing to treat it as an experience that can only be fully enjoyed in a theater, then Avatar 3 is the kind of film that will make you subconsciously rub your eyes after watching, just to confirm you're still sitting in the cinema. Because at times, it doesn't even feel like a movie. It's more like a documentary filmed by Cameron and his crew on the actual planet of Pandora. Cameron has taken the technical expertise he gained from the first 2 installments and elevated it to a whole new level, delivering the most emotionally charged, narratively complex, action-packed, and thrilling Avatar film to date. If you're planning to head to the theater, do yourself a favor and find the best big screen you can get access to, then sit back and enjoy the ride. The film picks up where the second installment left off. After Jake and Neytiri fought a life-or-death battle against humans, their eldest son was unfortunately shot and killed. Their greatest foe, Quaritch, was saved by his biological son, Spider, who was raised by Jake and Neytiri since childhood. Grieving the loss of their loved one and under the dual pressure of protecting Pandora's ecosystem, Jake and Neytiri decide to send Spider back to his original forest tribe. But on their journey, they are ambushed by a brand new clan, the Ash People. Thus begins a more intricate and perilous story. Looking back at Avatar: The Way of Water now, it actually feels more like a transitional chapter in the 5-part Avatar saga. It wove family dynamics into the epic narrative, placed the children at the core of the story, and transformed Jake and Neytiri from heroes into parents. But to be honest, this was also the aspect that most hindered the viewing experience. The children's character arcs were too numerous, fragmented, and repetitive. The emotional beats were on point, and the acting wasn't bad either. But dragging these storylines into the second act of the main plot for over an hour really slowed down the pacing to a crawl. Audiences, myself included, couldn't help but feel a subtle sense of fatigue. It wasn't that the waters of Pandora weren't visually stunning, it's just that even the most breathtaking scenery can become tedious after prolonged exposure. After going in circles for so long, you weren't even sure which payoff you were waiting for. Was it the escalation of the war, family reconciliation, or one of the children finally coming of age? But Avatar 3 clearly adopts a much more direct narrative approach. Within the first 20 minutes of the film, it throws the central conflict right onto the table. One action sequence after another tightens the pacing, with each scene building tension for the next. You can more frequently feel the cause and effect connections between plot points. Every choice comes with an immediate cost. Every provocation sparks an instant counterattack. The characters are no longer driven by the scenery or emotions, instead they are forced forward by the escalating situation. As a result, the entire film's progression feels like a steadily intensifying standoff. Just when you think you can catch your breath, it pulls you right back into the next wave of drama. More importantly, the introduction of the Ash People has finally added layers of complexity to Pandora's Na'vi ecosystem. They are no longer just simple, nature-loving indigenous people under invasion. Division and extremism exist within their ranks as well, evolving into an almost religious collective ideology. This clan of Ash People is linked to the trauma of volcanic catastrophes and their deviation from traditional beliefs. Their leader, Varang, portrayed by Una Chaplin, the granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin, is a formidable Na'vi woman who has endured immense trauma yet strayed down a dangerous path. Recently, a motion capture behind-the-scenes clip has wowed many viewers, and this character will undoubtedly become a major highlight of the third film. Furthermore, The emergence of the Ash People finally allows the Avatar series to break free from the simplistic binary opposition of humans are evil, Na'vi are good. Their existence demonstrates that even among the Na'vi, different environments, traumas, and survival strategies can give rise to vastly different value systems. You can understand the roots of their hatred and extremism, yet you can't help but fear where this hatred might lead their clan once it becomes organized and sanctified. Thus, the conflict no longer stems solely from external invasion. Instead, cracks have begun to appear within Pandora's world itself. Hatred towards enemies, differing interpretations of faith, and divergences in ways of survival all intertwine to form an even more tangled knot. Coupled with the complexity of Spider's character, which was already foreshadowed in the second film, he is both the son of the arch-villain Quaritch and a beloved family member raised by Jake and Neytiri since childhood. With close bonds to every one of their children, his inner turmoil and identity crisis have become one of the emotional cores of the third film. All of this has formed the driving force behind the movie's plot. From a screenwriting perspective, this installment is indeed more richly layered and emotionally resonant. That said, the claim made by the Camerons early on that audiences would cry for over an hour is a bit of an exaggeration, in my opinion. It feels more like a marketing gimmick, but there's no denying that this film is a significant improvement over the second one. Now let's talk about the technical aspects. When discussing Avatar's technology, it's easy to resort to vague praise like more vivid, more detailed, more stunning. But the thing is, the franchise has delivered on those fronts with every installment. So how do we describe the advancements in the third film? My take is this: its visuals are no longer just about showing off technical prowess. Instead, they are closer to a naturalistic documentation. More often than not, you don't even realize that computer-generated imagery, CGI, is at work. What I felt was a kind of translucent, airy, natural light piercing through mist, reflecting off skin, and settling on vegetation and ash particles. It's not the kind of polished, stage-managed lighting designed purely for aesthetic composition. Instead, it feels like Pandora really has such skies, such clouds, such angles of sunlight. Beyond more vibrant colors and finer textures, the key to this naturalistic visual quality is that it makes the frame breathe. It doesn't try to grab your attention with every single shot. Instead, it wraps you in the environment before you even realize it. You'll notice many seemingly trivial moments: the distortion of heat waves on the distant surface, the layering of a beam of light through smoke, the translucent edges of a character's skin when backlit. These aren't necessarily iconic, show-stopping scenes, but they continuously draw you deeper into the world of Pandora. Another tangible technical difference is the integration of high frame rate, HFR, and 3D. Cameron mentioned that both The Way of Water and The Seedbearer have used a large number of 48 frames per second high frame rate shots to enhance the comfort of 3D viewing. He has also publicly addressed external doubts about 3D HFR. To put it in simpler terms, certain shots have stronger spatial stability and more distinct depth of field, further blurring the distance between the audience and the screen. Of course, opinions on high frame rate are still divided. Some people just prefer the cinematic feel of 24 frames per second. But I have to say, for a work like Avatar that prioritizes immersion above all else, 48 frames per second is an extremely effective technical choice. And let's not forget that Avatar's brilliance isn't limited to CGI alone. It has always been doing something that seems simple yet incredibly challenging, seamlessly blending practical, handcrafted elements with cutting-edge digital technology. Take the texture of costumes and props. For example, many details are handcrafted, hand-dyed, and even made from real materials to recreate the irregularities found in nature. The result is not something that looks polished like a video game skin, but rather something rugged and authentic, as if the Na'vi clans truly live and breathe in this world. That sense of gritty realism is the foundation of the film's documentary-like feel. Finally, let's circle back to the question: in 2025, why do films like Avatar still exist? Admittedly, the Avatar series has never been perfect in terms of storytelling. It follows certain tropes, repeats familiar beats, and has been criticized for its cliched plotlines. But when it comes to box office performance, Avatar has never lost its touch, consistently ranking among the highest-grossing films of all time. Some viewers may wonder why such a cliched story can achieve such phenomenal box office success. The answer is simple. It proves that as long as you can offer an experience that cannot be replicated at home, audiences will still be willing to pay for a trip to the cinema. To me, Avatar 3 is more like a reminder to the film industry. One of the purposes of cinemas is to let you surrender your attention in the dark, to a screen that's even taller than your apartment building, and to a state-of-the-art audio-visual system. It's an experience that cannot be replicated on a smartphone, tablet, or even a 100-inch TV. But I completely understand another group of viewers. If you have no interest in Pandora, no emotional attachment to Jake's family, and find the story too cliched and overly idealistic, that's perfectly fine. Asterisk. Avatar Times has never been a film that everyone must watch. It's more like an invitation. Do you want to experience the most lavish side of the film industry? Do you want to see how immersive a film can be when a director pursues that goal without regard for cost? If you're curious about any of this, then I'll say it again. Find the best big screen you can and go watch it. As soon as you sit down, it will hook you to your seat and make you willingly believe that this level of experience can only be found in a movie theater. Alright, that wraps up today's review. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. See you next time!